Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. I'm your host, Tom Downey. Time now for my Cowboys Mailbag. We'll start things off with a question here on David Irving. When is enough with him? Also trade him for Amari Cooper. Recoup, that'd be great. Oakland has no desire to do that one, though. As for Irving, the Cowboys are being as patient as they possibly can with him, and that's how Jerry Jones tended to operate in the NFL. Now, his absences as of late have been due to a custody issue with his daughter. He no longer has custody. Angela Sanchez, his on-again, off-again girlfriend, now has custody. Irving actually has a temporary restraining order against him filed by Sanchez, which is probably not ideal and partially why he's been away from the team. But Irving is now back with the team, and the hope is he's able to play on Sunday. And as I've said multiple times on other shows, you got to feel bad for the guy. He's gone through a lot of crap in the past couple of months, even year or so. But there is always something with David Irving, and that's got to be frustrating. So I think in reality, you're definitely going to try and give him the rest of the season from a pure football perspective. But beyond that, I don't know. And that brings us to our next question here from Echelon. Will Dallas be willing to do an incentivized one-year deal with Irving next year or simply part ways? I don't want to completely rule it out, but I would be a little bit surprised. And if I'm the Cowboys, as great a talent as David Irving is, and even though you do feel bad for him as a person, you can't trust him right now. There's always something going on with David Irving. Great talent, great one on the field, but he's never on the field. And if he's cheap and really, really cheap, then either A, still dealt with all off-field stuff, or B, probably wasn't worth that much on the open market. In that case, did he actually play that well? All those things go into the decision here. So I've leaned towards no. It's a loaded defensive line draft class next year. I'd rather draft somebody. Yeah, they're probably not as good as Irving is right now, but you can trust them to be on the field, hopefully, for all 16 games, and you have him longer, and in theory, he's going to give you better production across all 16 games because he's not missing 4 every couple of weeks. All right, folks, Cowboys play the Jags this week. If you can get the score exactly right, I'll send you $25. Get your score prediction right now in the comments section. Then DM me your score prediction on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. If you get it right and you're the first one to do so, I'll send you $25. So, one more time. DM me on Twitter with your score prediction, and we'll send you $25 if you're the first one to get it right. All right, next up from Rob, because, yes, I did see this one. Which coach did you tell to go fuck themselves first, Jason Garrett or Scott Linehan? Well, I've said to fire Scott first, so I guess I'll go with that one. And I want to hear from you guys, too. Which coach do you dislike more? Type G for Jason Garrett, type L for Scott Linehan. No, you can't pick both. You have to pick one after all. I just did. All right, Sloan, you're up first, or up next, I should say. What can the coaching staff do differently from here on out to help this offense? Well, there are a couple different things. There are several things the Cowboys can try to do here to make the offense better. I got 5 of them here right for you. First up, fire Linehan. Everyone write out that last comment? There you go. More play action. All right, the play action works. A lot of the Cowboys' big plays, the Rico one, the Swaim one, others, the touchdown or the great grab by Gallup, others, the play action works. Teams are so terrified of Zeke Elliott, they will collapse in early, set things up better. The thing I hate most about this offense is the whole, okay, we're going to run curls, hitches nonstop, and comeback routes. Stop having guys run straight and turn back around. It doesn't work. You got to find something different there. And you have to get a receiver going. I don't know who that is. Maybe it's a screen game. Maybe it's because you run more play action and because you use different route types. But you got to get a receiver going. And all like that, it's probably Cole Beasley. And finally, you guys aren't going to like this one, start looking into the offseason. Good receiver class, solid tight end class in the draft. You can throw money at guys in the offseason as well in free agency. You better look ahead because in reality, the solution to the talent is not on the roster right now. All right, folks, we're trying to get to 5K subscribers here on our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. Almost there. We're getting closer. Thank you to all who have already subscribed and tell a friend too. All of our great Cowboys coverage all in one spot, sometimes even earlier than we do on our main YouTube channel or here on Facebook. All right, again here, Sandman, my boy. He asks, why is Dak regressing so much in a contract year and won't that affect him come re-up time? It is kind of a contract year for Dak, not technically, but he is eligible for an extension, so in reality, it is kind of a bit of a contract year for Dak. But for the regression, well, he's not the type of guy to, carry the rest of the offense around him. He's not as good as he once was, i.e. in his first year, but the supporting cast has also regressed. The ground game has not been as good. The receiving core is way worse than it was before, and teams have kind of figured out the play calling. All that goes together, That's why Dak has regressed a bit. So it's certainly not ideal, but that is the reality right now. Hopefully, he can get things turned around quickly. Folks, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Head to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Cowboys120 if you want some free money. Put down $100. They'll give you $120 for free via that 120% deposit bonus for a grand total of $220. You are playing with house money if you use promo code Cowboys120 at chatsports.com/bet. All right, some more coaching questions, which does not surprise me at all. I knew we'd have that quite a bit this week. Do you think we fire Garrett and hire Chris Richard as the head coach, and do you think he would be a good fit? Richard's going to get interviews. I don't think just from the Cowboys. I think from multiple teams that inevitably fire their coaches this season. I am open to the idea of Chris Richard as your head coach. All right, now, here are my top 5. Not necessarily in my order, but I think guys the Cowboys will target in particular. Ideally, you can get Sean Payton, right? That's the number one home run dream hire, all right? I would tend to lean, though, towards an offensive-minded coach, be it a DeFilippo, be it a Riley, because if you hire Richard, your defense is going to stay the same, if not a little bit better. But what do you do about the offensive spot? That's a big concern for me, so I'm open to it. And Supernova here has an idea for the OC. He asks, what about Norv Turner? And I'll give Norv Turner credit, all right? I was not as high on Norv entering this year because I thought he'd lost his touch. The time in Minnesota did not work very well. But he came back this year with the Panthers and has done a fantastic job. So I'm open to pairing Norv and Richard, but here's the thing. The Norv Turner offense in the past is what the Cowboys have run for the most part past couple of years. So I don't know if that's what you want. On the flip side, he's done a good job in Carolina. So I'm open to it, but I don't know if Norv is even going to leave Carolina because he's got a bunch of family guys there coaching as well. So I don't think it would happen, but I'm not opposed to it either. With that in mind, who do you guys want as the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? Let me know in the comments section. I'm sure you'll have plenty of great ideas there, folks. All right, from King C the Goat, he says, why not go the trade route for a wide receiver? Well, who are you going to get? Not a lot of great receivers are out there. Maybe you could go trade for a Golden Tate, which makes sense, but you're going to give him, let's say, a 4th or a 5th round pick. At least probably a 3rd or a 4th. I'll settle on a 4th here. Yeah, then you have to pay him. Does Golden Tate or any of the receivers that are potentially available make you a playoff team? I don't think so. And I'm not saying you don't need receiver help, because you absolutely do. Because Beasley, Hearns, Gout, it ain't working. This receiving core is not getting the job done, even if it's not all their fault. But I don't think this Cowboys team is one wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2 post away. I don't think that's where they're at right now. So you do need receiver help, but I think the offseason makes a little bit more sense for you. Now, Corey Bates with a similar question here says, why not go get a receiver or a tight end as well? And again, I think the offseason makes sense. That's when you could see the Cowboys make a big splash. Right now, I just don't think it makes sense if you're going to trade away picks for a player that might not get you to the playoffs. That's not good roster construction looking beyond just the season. As for getting rid of Sean Lee, look, he could be a roster cut after the season. He absolutely could be. Now, you guys know that I love Sean Lee. When healthy, he is among the best linebackers in the NFL. But he is constantly hurt and does have a high salary. I don't want to cut him this year, but if he doesn't want to take a pay cut in the offseason, I would not at all be surprised if you see Dallas say, you know what, Sean, thank you so much. We're going to move on. And as I mentioned before, I don't think Dallas should do a splashy trade. Let me know if you guys disagree in the comment section. If you have a player that you want in mind, let me know. I think in reality, you're not a 1 player, even 2 players away from changing your franchise and getting yourself from, let's say, 7-9, 8-8 to a 10 or 11 win team. You're just not that close right now. In that case, keep your picks. You need those young guys to develop long term. All right, from Ethan with another trade idea here. What about Demaryius Thomas? There's been a little bit of buzz that DT is on the trade block, and he would give the receiving core a boost. Here's the thing. Do you want to pay Demaryius Thomas $14 million a year next year? No, I don't think you want to. He's not going to get that much on the open market, I don't think, if and when he gets cut by Denver. I would rather wait for Denver to cut Demaryius Thomas or Emmanuel Sanders. I think one of those guys is gone next offseason. Then once they're cut, go try and sign them. I don't think it makes sense right now with the way this Cowboys team is. Yes, it makes you better in the short term. I don't think it makes sense to go make a splashy trade, because what are you going to give up for DT? A 3rd or a 4th? Maybe a 5th? I don't think that's worth it, especially the 3rd or 4th, which I think is more likely. So I like DT. I like Emmanuel Sanders even more, actually. I say you pass on a trade and focus on the offseason for getting that number 1 wideout. All right, folks, if you guys want your own awesome Mizzen main shirt, get one at comfortable.af today. They're made right here in America, and trust me, they are the most comfortable dress shirt you will ever own. All right, and this one from a YouTube commenter here, couldn't resist it. Says the Cowboys need to make a major trade for a real quarterback, which, sure, you can take that approach. Says they trade David Irving, Sean Lee, and 2 firsts for Andrew Luck. I love Andrew Luck. I'd love to do it. I don't know why the Colts would. 2 firsts is a lot, and it gives them quite a few. I think Luck is worth more. He seems to be okay for the Colts. They're letting him throw the ball all the time now. But if you're the Colts and you're rebuilding, because that's what you do if you trade away Andrew Luck, why would you want pending free agent David Irving and an old linebacker in Sean Lee, or aging linebacker in Sean Lee? I'm open to trade ideas, but I don't think that one makes enough sense for the other team. All right, folks, I will see you guys tomorrow for our next Cowboys Report.